Welcome everybody back. Welcome everybody back to another stream where today we are finishing up the regular season. We got 4 more weeks. We can do it. Alright, looking at this week, who do we want to give the prime times actually to? Because there's kind of a lot of mid-level teams that are kind of suffering right beneath the water. So I'm thinking we go look straight at the division and we go Dolphins Patriots. As much as I hate giving the Dolphins any sort of credit, they're in it. They're not dead yet. They aren't drowning. They're Dolphins. They can jump right out of the water and jump right into the playoffs with a few wins against the Patriots in week 15 and 17. It's not over for them. It's getting close to over for them, but it's not just yet. Realistically, you want to finish 9-7. If you can finish 9-7, you got a shot at the playoffs, is the way the standings are currently looking. But it looks like Miami's hopes of playoffs are slowly dwindling, but they do score. Minute 12, season on the line. What does Tua do? He crumbles to the ground like a crumble cookie. Oh, save his soul. I'm getting dizzy, man. Alright, now we'll head to the team that's trying to go 17-0, the Chiefs. They play the Ravens. That could be a tough game, and this game against the Bucks here could also be a tough game. They don't even have more than 3 superstar X Factors on their team, but they can cook up here. Don't know why my ear's so itchy. I've had this thing in, I guess, all day, so that could be it, that my ears just want to break. Well, they'll get a break next week, probably. Bucks first on the board with 7, and they can't make it 14. And now it's tied at half. Nope, 10-7 now, 10-10 in the third. Bucks holding on to the lead to give the Chiefs their first loss. It could happen here. 2nd and 8 for the Chiefs. They pick up the first. Big penalty. There's the touchdown. Bucks have all their timeouts, and they will win with a buzzer beater field goal. And the Chiefs are not going undefeated thanks to Jalen Monroe and an excellent game. Let's go. Cupcake needed another loss if he's going to stay about 500 in his primetime season records. And for our last game, thinking Falcons-Eagles. Need another Falcons game in here. Dang, Tremaine Edmonds. He can tackle, that's about it. He's getting old, though. We can't really fault him for it too much. Eagles first on the board with 7. Omelette, Goofy, Wallyak, whatever you want to call him. He can make some noise here as a nice wild card. Not going to happen, but he could have. Falcons looking to potentially usurp that number 1 seed from Andre. Because we know we don't want Andre to have another 1 seed on his resume. We're just tired of it. Feels like my ear's on fire. Alright, that was our 3rd game, so now we're going to head to the Broncos, where the Broncos are getting close to being able to just clinch that that next spot into the playoffs. I think they could if they potentially win this one, and a few important teams also lose. I play the Niners. That's not fun. And 34-24, somehow we're giving up points to the Raiders. Week 15, Lions, Patriots, Texans, Steelers, Cowboys in a big win. I think we have a potential for a few scoregamis here. We got 44-17 It is a scoregami. Let's go. Saints win and Packers win 41-9. That one is also scoregami. And then Bucks beat the Chiefs. I need to go to bed, bro. Cardinals, Ravens, Broncos, Giants, and Niners beat the Seahawks by a lot. Also another scoregami. Falcons, Bills, and Jaguars. Looking at the playoff bracket, the Jaguars still sitting at that 6th spot. Ravens also at that 7. It's like this hasn't been updated, but the Packers back in playoff contention. I'm okay with that. Glub glub, we need something from you. All right, games to watch out for this week: Cardinals, Bucks, Patriots, Jags. It was starting off to be really hard to pick games, but now it's getting easy. All right, we're gonna go do Bucks Cardinals first. This one is going to determine a lot of the wild cards. Who's finishing at that 5 and who's finishing at that 6, in my opinion. The Buccaneers will play the Falcons next week. Feels like that's their 3rd matchup this year, but maybe I'm just bugging out. We should also see who's actually like clinched the playoffs at this point. So you guys can stop stressing or start stressing because it's kind of fun to see it both ways. Buccaneers up 14-0. Cardinals need some wins. You do not want to end the season going 8-9. You need a win here. Here we go. 4th and inches. Cardinals. They go for it. Pick up Zachariah Branch and a field goal, and the Cardinals will beat Ziggy in a primetime game. Let's go, Shadur. That's one thing I don't think I would be able to forgive myself is in the final season number 21, if we gave a ring to Ziggy. Like, that just doesn't seem okay. Like, we can give him a Super Bowl berth. We just can't have that happening. All right, our next game, I think we go Patriots-Jaguars. The Jaguars, good enough to get a primetime game? Good enough to make the playoffs? I mean, I'm kind of having it. They do have a hard game here against the Patriots and next week against the Cowboys. But if they can beat the Colts week 18, we could see them being a low-seeded wild card to potentially play either the Steelers or Texans in the first round. That's kind of their ceiling at the moment. Their floor, obviously they could fall out of the playoffs like they usually have every single season. But in a game where the Patriots are kind of like, we could lose one and beat the Dolphins next week, this is a trap game for the Patriots. 10-10 here at the half. Jaguars throw a very unnecessary into Jahleel Hurley. And in the 4th, they go up by 3, but Jamie Chamberlain, big play. 4th and 2, they get the field goal. We're headed to overtime. Patriots do get the ball first. And they're going to go down and punt for 35 yards. A big penalty by Jaquan Brisker. And the Jaguars will go 4 and out. Patriots go 4 and out. Jaguars, big play. And what happened there? Oh, they missed a 38-yard field goal. Oh my gosh. The Jaguars and Patriots have just tied a primetime game. It has been a long time since we've seen that, but I'm happy for it. Like, that's goated. An 8-minute overtime ending in a tie, much deserved. Usually we only give them about 5:30 for overtime, but I've started being a little bit more lax, and I don't really care about it that much anymore. But we love to see a tie. That's going to break Madden even more. Alrighty. So we got Bucks, Jags game done. And now our last game. We'll look at the standings. We'll see if there's anything that we need to look at. So here we go with Steelers, Chiefs, both clinched. Niners, Falcons, and Cowboys have all clinched their divisions. So that Cowboys-Eagles game doesn't matter too terribly much anymore. Are the Packers playing anybody good? The Falcons. All right, we'll go do Packers-Falcons. It's been a while since we've seen the Packers. They're 7-7, looking to potentially finish the season on a high note. But they have some three hard games. Falcons, Eagles, Texans. They gave us a scoregami last week. I will reward them a primetime game. How good is Glub doing? Not very. At least he's not Enwell. Enwell, I think, has the worst score in primetime games history, and that could continue if he doesn't continue to win games. I'm struggling to find Glub right now. Just because I can't see. Falcons up 28-14. 28-20. And the Packers have an opportunity. They get the penalty. They're running the ball. Okay, so we're stupid. Falcons gonna win that one. And the Packers, you can kiss that division goodbye after that loss. I think that's going to the Lions, which is nice. I'm okay with JD Space Program being in the playoffs. Very deserved, probably. All right, there are your 3 games for this week. And I swear if I lose to the Chargers, we're going to have some problems. All right, let's force advance to next week. And we do 28-15. Let's go look at the schedule. League schedule. So we got Vikings win by 1, Cardinals, Falcons, tie. Jeez, bro, these teams do not have defenses or something? 45-42. That is scoregami and one of the top scoring games of all time. Commanders, Browns, Bills, Ravens, Chiefs 30-15. That's a weird score. It has happened before. Niners, Steelers, Dolphins, Broncos. I almost didn't check it. That is a scoregami that is going to complete a big block in the middle. And the Eagles do end up beating the Cowboys. And then Detroit at Seattle. Detroit wins that one. All right, looking at the playoff bracket, the Chiefs still at the 1 spot. Texans fall down to 4. Patriots are up to 3 as the Jaguars drop down to 7 as the Ravens move up. Eagles now at that 7th spot. Cardinals move up to the 5 and Bucks fall to the 6. We got 2 weeks left. Prime times, Falcons, Bucks. Patriots, Dolphins, maybe. I don't know. Bills, Texans, maybe. Ravens, Chiefs. Let's look at the standings. Got the AFC, the Broncos have added to the clinch. In the NFC, the Lions have now clinched their division. And it's now down to these 4 of who's going to get that final playoff spot. All right. I mean, let's start off with the games that, we know which ones they are going to be. It's going to be Broncos, Texans, and Falcons. We're going to start off with the Falcons because those 1 seeds are going to come down to the wire in Week 18. It does appear. I'm sad that I'm almost locked in at the 5 seed because that means I have to play the Chiefs in the first round or the second round of the playoffs. Second round, my bad. Unless somebody else is able to upset Mayo, it's up to you. So here we go, Buccaneers versus Falcons. The Falcons owned them previously this season. I feel like this is the 4th time they've played. 21-10 Falcons are just a touchdown machine. As I say that, they score a field goal. But dang, Falcons. This could be potentially one of the most offensive juggernaut teams we have ever seen. And you know what? Because of that, I'm going to go put my theory to the test. Most points scored in a single season has not been beaten since Madden 24 2027. Maybe because we don't check it as much as we should. but they have 6,000 yards. Dang. How many points per game? Okay, never mind. The Niners are scoring more. They've played, what, 15 games. 50 times 30.5. They're at 457. If the Niners can score 60 more points, here, what's that? Minus 513. Yeah, they need 55 more points and they become the most offensive juggernaut powerhouse in a very long time. Joe Burrow with 4,400 passing yards. Jeez, this offense is just insane. All right, next we're going to head to the Broncos. Come on, Broncos. We need another primetime game. I'm playing against Andre. If I can stunt him going into the playoffs, I'd have a massive win streak heading into the wild card. This game, I need it, and I need it bad. We cannot lose to Andre again. I need to be the best Madden team all time. I need to represent the Broncos and loyalty. Broncos first on the board with 14, actually, with a quick turnover as well. Niners, like I said, going for that record. Broncos up 24-21. And the Jalen Waddle touchdown. Broncos with an opportunity. They go for it on 4th and 2. And Kevin Conception with the touchdown. Niners. They don't score. Let's go. Denver gives up 28 to the... Jeez, bro. What a touchdown fiasco. Similar stats from both quarterbacks, which is meaning the receiving is probably pretty close. Yeah, 7-7-7-6. Kevin Conception. I want to see what his overall is because he's had himself a season. Now that Cortland Sutton's kind of gone and Jerry Jeudy's playing like buns, I'd love to see Kevin Conception be a star dev. I don't think he's going to be a star dev. But if there was most improved player, I think it would be Kevin Conception. He's up to an 87 overall. He's going to my wide receiver 3. I just want to show you guys what he's done. Okay, never mind. He has 20 touchdowns. That's the most touchdowns in a season. All right, next week we got to get him 3 touchdowns. But dang, let's go. We needed that. And now I just gave the number 1 seed to Frosty potentially. That's not great. All right, Texans and Bills. Both have heavy playoff implications. Bills trying to hop into that 3 spot and pass the Texans. Eraser, who has apparently deleted Discord. Good lord. Man, Kevin Conception, we need him on the leaderboard. Single season records, that would be great. I'd love it. 7-0, 14-0, 21-0. The Bills want it just that little bit more. This is great news for the Jaguars, who could potentially win their division, I think, now. 27-9. Lamar is choking. All right. So we got those 2 games done, and then we're going Ravens Chiefs. I was kind of hoping that the Ravens were going to be able to be the team that would finally dethrone the Chiefs. Just to say they were 17-0 last season. They beat the 17-0 team this season. But that's not the way it went. That's right. Wait, the most interceptions in a season could low-key be broken already, and I just haven't noticed it. Snow game here in KC. Um, I'm anticipating very low-scoring game here. They're kind of proving me right. 14-6 at the 14-9 at the half. Pardon. Ravens are loving their field goals right now. Finally, Ravens ball. They go backwards, go forward, 4th and inches, and they get held. Nick Bolton. The Chiefs able to beat the Ravens. Are the Ravens going to be able to even make the playoffs? All right. Okay. So Jalen Waddle has broken the Madden touchdown record. That's insane. Um, the interception record has been tied. If BJ Foster or De'Aaron Bland get one more interception, they will have beat that record. So we got some record breakers here in this last season, which we have not kept up with pretty much ever. All right. Force advance to next week. Here we go. Scheduled. Week 17, we got a Panthers, Steelers, Falcons, Saints, Titans, Lions, Cowboys, Dolphins, Chargers, Eagles, Broncos, Cardinals, Bears, Bills, Chiefs, Colts. Looking at the playoff picture, the Bills now up to that 7 spot. Patriots still holding strong. Ravens move up to 6. Texans still holding on at 4. And the NFC has not shifted at all. And we're going to go until we have everybody clinched today. So we got 3 teams in the AFC. Everybody down to the Dolphins could logically make it. In the NFC, we have 7 teams clinched. We're still got that 1 seed up for grabs, but good news, it doesn't look like we're going to have 8 teams clinching the playoffs here. So that's good. We didn't want that to happen. So week 18, which games? Ooh. All right, game of the week, Bills, Patriots. Prime time is Niners, Cardinals. And then another prime time is Steelers, Ravens. We're going to start with our game of the week because this will determine a lot of the AFC right here. If the Patriots somehow lose this game, they could still make playoffs and be that random team that makes it at 9-7-1 as like a random 7 seed. And I'm personally here for it. Oh, the stretching hurts, bro. It's not my classic gaming chair. Patriots up 7. Bills could fall out of the playoffs. Dolphins could hop right on in. Remember, we continue to stream games until we know who's in the playoffs. And here with 2 minutes left, the Bills, 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, 1st and goal again, and a touchdown, Emmanuel Benson. Patriots will lose that one, and the Bills have punched their way into the playoffs with a big win against the Patriots. And I think that's punched their way into the playoffs. I don't know exactly yet. Yes, the Bills have won their division. Patriots will await later to figure out if they've made it into the playoffs or not. And we're going to see if we can figure out this 1 seed issue in the NFC as the Cardinals play host to the Niners. Niners, how many points do they need for that record? All right, 30 point. So 30 times. Nope. They played 16 games times 30.3. They're at 484. How many points do they need? 513 minus 485. They need 28 points to get #1 offense of all Madden Sim history. 28 points. That's 4 touchdowns. That's not even that much. Plus, they could still get on the leaderboard. But yeah, in case you guys are wondering which record they're trying to pass right now, it is the Eagles in Madden 25. Cardinals defense, can you hold Andre from getting another accolade? Niners up with 7. 14, they're halfway there. They're on pace. They are on pace. They are behind pace. They are on pace again. They got the 24. They need one more score. Can they get it? Well, they choose to. They score 27, and I think they might just miss it by 1 point, or they would have tied it. That is so incredibly sad. That's so incredibly sad. That was history in the making. The Niners still win. All right. Cardinals still make playoffs regardless of whatever that outcome was. The Falcons, it looks like if they win, they would take the 1 seed. All right, so we got Ravens, Steelers. Ravens do have this one as a home game, and they need it. If they lose this one, they could be out of the playoffs. Ooh. I've been sitting down for way too freaking long. I need to lay down. All right, Ravens season on the line. Need to finish 9-7 to make the playoffs. If they fall, they would probably be eliminated to the Patriots. They are up 1 in the second. Down 5 in the third. Down 12. Down 19. And down even more. 26-point loss. Season on the line. Who did you lose to, brother? Because it was not Daniels. It was John Lipton. And this David Sturdivant. Brother, how you losing to that? Ravens are not eliminated yet. Their chances aren't looking good, though. That just means that we're going to have to stream some more games, though. So free football, free content for you all as you look in the standings. The NFC, it's down packed. Oh, nope. The Ravens are just straight up eliminated. Unless we get the 2Z Terror because of the Patriots-Jaguars tie. Was not expecting that. So we know which 7 teams are making it unless crap hits the fan. So never mind. No free content for you. All right, we are going to force advance and see what actually happens, because who knows? Yep, nothing crazy happened. Did I win? I lost to the Chargers in my final week. That's just great. So looking at the final standings, this is what they ended up being. There's a big drop off in that NFC. I just accidentally looked at the standings again. Yep. Nope, not team schedule, playoff schedule. Let me drop back. Dolphins win, but they just didn't have enough teams lose. Browns beat the Chiefs. Let's go. Rams, Eagles, Bills, Bengals, Bears. Texans in a very close game, 35-34, which has happened before. Bucks, Vikings win 11-10 which is scoregami, and actually is the first ever game won with 11 points. Chargers, Panthers, Niners, Jaguars, Detroit, and Steelers. So there you go. Those are our scores for this season. And let's go see if that Niners team actually won that. So points per game, 30.1 times 17. They scored 512 points. They were 1 point shy of the best offense. 29.5 times 17 is 501. So the Niners will move into that. No, they needed 505. That sucks. And let's go to defense. Did anybody have a really good defense? Points 299. I don't even think we tracked that. We just tracked yards on that. Total. Yeah, that's the best defense. Falcons just now had the best defense. That's crazy. Did anybody break the interception record? I would be very sad because it would kick PS2 off. And no, they did not. Greg Rousseau with 20 sacks. James Pierce Jr. with 16 sacks. Judkins with the best rushing stats this season. Let's go. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. Hope you guys are all in the playoffs. Because we got some fun games to go through. We got Eraser versus Mayo. We got Frosty versus Darn Dang. We got Peterbilt versus me. We got Cupcake and Andre with the buys. Frosty versus Wallyak. JD versus Ziggy. ESJ versus Grob. We got some nice rivalries brewing. Anyways, hope to see you guys on the playoffs next Monday. See you guys.